Once a track has been added to the designer grid, and you have also created a station that represents the same area that the track will operate in, you can then define the track's properties. By clicking on any track piece within a block section, you will see the track properties window appear. There are several properties that can be defined for a segment of track. The first property is the Make Connecting Block property. Connecting blocks are the sections of track that in general connect with switches or diamonds that in turn also connect to other switches, diamonds, and tracks inside a control point. For this example, we are going to leave it set to no, but later on we will come back to this property. The next property is the track name. All track names must either end with a letter A, B, O, T, or be named dark to indicate the type of track and its behavior. Track names may also be preceded by any whole number where applicable if multiple tracks exist. Here is what each naming type represents. Any track name ending with an A means that its status will be updated when both stations that it is bound to reflect the same change in state. These tracks are usually found in the middle of a triple block area between two stations. Any track name ending with a B means that its status will be updated when the sole station it is bound to reflects some change in state. Any track name ending with an O means that its status will be updated when either of the stations it is bound to reflect some change in state. These tracks are usually found where two stations share the same and only block between them. Any track name ending with a T is a special kind of track that correlates with the Make Connecting Block property that was mentioned earlier. These tracks are only located inside of a control point or an interlocking and will have a blue background in the grid to indicate their presence. This blue background is not visible in the Runtime Monitor program and is only shown if you set the Make Connecting Block property to yes. Any track that is named dark means that it is not controlled by any station in the layout and does not show any change in state. These tracks are general markers to indicate where dark territories exist that are not covered by radio traffic. The next two properties are the from and to stations. Track diagrams are read in a top left to bottom right format. Therefore, if a section of track is bound to two stations, the general rule of thumb is that the station that is on the top leftmost side of the track becomes the from station, and vice versa for the other side of the track for the to station property. The next two properties are the left and right manual block properties. When there is an interruption in the path of a track, these properties then link the separated parts together. Each property holds a row and column value separated by a comma that indicates where it reconnects with other tracks in the layout. Again, since tracks are read in a top left to bottom right format, the general rule of thumb is that you will use the left side for the top left linking and the right side for the bottom right linking, though this rule does not have to be followed to a T. The final property is the out-of-service expression. There are times when multiple blocks exist between stations, but there is not always enough data to properly represent the status of everything. This is mostly by design of the wayside track equipment. This property allows you to define an out-of-service expression that will be evaluated each time a packet is received to determine if the block is out of service. A prime example of where this is useful are areas where there are more than two blocks between stations. Once all of your properties are set, you can click the Save button, and not only will it save the properties for the cell you clicked in, but it will also update all of the adjacent pieces as well for tracks that exist in the same block as the one you clicked on, so that you do not have to set each one individually.